7 kilometers beneath the Indian Ocean, where sunlight has never reached and pressure is almost 700 times greater than at the surface, scientists found a graveyard that had been growing for at least 5.3 million years. Not one skeleton. Hundreds of whale remains scattered across a fracture zone stretching for 1,200 kilometers. But the strangest discovery was not the dead whales. It was everything still living from them. In 2023, the submersible Fendouzhe descended into the Diamantina Zone, west of Australia. Across 32 dives, researchers documented 5 active whale falls and 476 fossil cetaceans between 4,616 and 7,001 meters deep. Some bones were darkened by minerals. Others were covered in microbial mats, brittle stars, snails, clams, and translucent tubes. At some sites, animals reached densities of 2,840 individuals per square meter. This was not one catastrophe. The graveyard formed one death at a time, over millions of years. When a whale dies at the surface, its body may float temporarily. But if it sinks, it carries an enormous pulse of nutrients into a world where food normally arrives as tiny flakes of marine snow. Then the transformation begins. Sharks, hagfish, and crustaceans converge on the carcass. Over several months, they can strip away most of the flesh, leaving a skeleton surrounded by nutrient-rich sediment. But an empty-looking skeleton is not empty. Smaller animals colonize the mud and exposed bones. Then one of the strangest creatures in the ocean arrives. Osedax means bone devourer. These worms have no eyes, legs, mouth, or stomach. Red plumes rise from the bone like tiny flowers, while green root-like tissue penetrates beneath the surface. Their roots release acid and enzymes that dissolve the bone, unlocking proteins and fats. Symbiotic bacteria help process those nutrients. In many Osedax species, the visible worms are females, while microscopic males live inside their tubes, and the ecosystem is still only beginning. In oxygen-poor pockets, microbes break down lipids trapped inside the bones and produce hydrogen sulfide. Other bacteria use this chemical energy, creating pale mats across the skeleton. Specialized clams gather nearby, carrying sulfur-oxidizing microbes within their tissues. There is no sunlight and no plant growth, yet chemistry replaces photosynthesis, creating a community related to those around cold seeps and hydrothermal vents. Researchers recognized 35 larger animal groups across the active falls. Many collected organisms could represent species still unknown to science. One community survived on only 3 whale vertebrae at a depth of 6,789 meters. It became the deepest active whale fall ecosystem yet documented. So, why are so many remains concentrated here? The answer is probably a rare combination of biology and geology. The Diamantina Zone lies beneath whale migration routes. Deep-diving beaked whales hunt around its trenches. Natural deaths may place more bodies above this region, while its V-shaped terrain could funnel sinking carcasses towards the same seabed. But the whales did not travel here to die. It is a landscape that quietly collected them and preserved them unusually well. Many ancient remains are dense sections of beaked whale skulls. Their compact bone resists destruction. Sediment accumulates extremely slowly, while iron and manganese oxides gradually coat exposed surfaces. Some remains can stay visible for millions of years. Isotope analysis dated the oldest sampled bone to approximately 5.3 million years ago. Researchers also identified an extinct beaked whale species new to science. The discovery suggests whale falls may act like stepping stones across the deep ocean, allowing specialized animals to move between isolated pockets of chemical energy. Together, these remains could form a 1,200-kilometer whale fall supercorridor. At the surface, a whale's death looks like an ending. On the ocean floor, it becomes geography. Flesh becomes food. Fat becomes chemical energy. Bone becomes shelter. The skeleton becomes a living community, a fossil archive and evidence of lives we are only beginning to understand. In the deepest darkness on Earth, death does not leave an empty space. It builds an entire world,